back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like?
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him.
Brawl between Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford during Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach media event in New York has taken the internet by storm. Now, Crawford has spoken out about what really went down, and in the process, he took another shot at Tank. With tensions running high, the boxing world is eagerly anticipating the next physical showdown between the two.
It's just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about it.
Mm.
No, I don't like nothing about it. I just feel like, no.
A fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis seems unlikely for now, as Crawford is focused on a potential super middleweight showdown with Canelo Alvarez, while Davis remains in the lightweight division. The two champions clashed last month after a brief exchange over the Ring Magazine Awards. While the significant size difference makes a fight between them improbable, that didn't stop them from trading a few jabs.
Now, on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it.
Davis is currently focused on Lamont Roach as he prepares to defend his WBA lightweight title on March 1st. However, Tank has never shied away from verbal warfare. With Crawford eyeing a potential showdown against Canelo Alvarez, he has other priorities as well. Yet, he recently revealed that his opinion of Davis wasn't shaped by their heated exchange in January. Their back and forth last month initially revolved around money before Davis took things to a personal level, a common theme in combat sports. However, Crawford had already made up his mind about Tank long before any of this unfolded.
If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35.
In a recent Cigar Talk Terence Crawford shared his thoughts on Gervonta "Tank" Davis, particularly addressing the notion that Davis only moves up in weight when he can handpick his opponents. When the interviewer brought up their social media feud and whether it stemmed from competitive rivalry, Crawford made it clear that his feelings toward Davis go beyond the sport. "Man, I just really don't like that dude," Crawford said. "I just don't like him, like I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him. I feel like he's one of these arrogant little dudes who hides behind what he has. He's always surrounded by security and knows he's in the limelight, but in certain situations, he wouldn't act like that." Despite his personal dislike, Crawford still acknowledged Davis' skill in the ring. "He's a good fighter. I respect him as a fighter. He's got power, tremendous boxing ability, and real talent. But when it comes to his personality and the way he carries himself,"
in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside.
Davis didn't seem too impressed by Crawford's acknowledgement of his skills. In response to the interview, he fired back in a now-deleted post. Dan, the guy they had interviewed, that raccoon, and Dan the raccoon. "I'll be in New York City in 2 weeks, no security. How about that? Another topic that could further fuel the tension between Crawford and Davis is the role of Shakur Stevenson. The 27-year-old rising star is set to return to the ring this weekend, with much of the conversation surrounding a potential future showdown with Davis. Given their history, it's no surprise that this fight is generating buzz. However, Crawford has made his stance clear. He's backing Stevenson in what would undoubtedly be one of the biggest matchups of the year.
Using what he got to shield him. You know, like, he got a lot of security.
Putting personality and personal matters aside, Crawford still acknowledges Davis' talent. In boxing, he's definitely talented. He's got that it factor, and he's respected in the sport. But Shakur is a different kind of fighter. He's built differently. People may call him boring or say he can't punch, but they said the same thing about Floyd. That's because they're defensive fighters. Tank won't be able to hit Shakur the way he hits everybody else, and he knows that. Adding to the growing tension, Keyshawn Davis has now entered the conversation following his recent World Championship victory. His name has been thrown into the mix, escalating the rivalry, especially after both Keyshawn and Crawford's trainer, Brian Messentire, publicly called out Gervonta Davis. Meanwhile, Stevenson faced a setback leading up to his anticipated return. His scheduled opponent, Floyd Schofield, withdrew just days before the fight due to illness, leaving Stevenson without a matchup and adding another leg.
You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys that everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give him no fight. They not mentally there. You know what I mean?
Stevenson will still be part of the massive pay-per-view event in Saudi Arabia on February 22nd, but instead of facing Floyd Schofield, he will now defend his WBC lightweight title against England's Josh Padley. Padley, who holds a 15-1 record, has won 3 of his last 4 fights by knockout. In his most recent bout, he pulled off an upset victory over Mark Chamberlain via unanimous decision. This will be the British fighter's first shot at a world title since turning professional in 2019. Padley successfully passed a weight check on Wednesday morning, just 4 days ahead of his championship opportunity. When asked about Schofield's withdrawal, Stevenson expressed his frustration. Asterisk, I think this kid was struggling to make weight, asterisk, he said. Asterisk, he probably had weight issues, and that was likely the real problem. But instead of admitting that, they started coming up with all kinds of crazy excuses. Asterisk, the WBC champion admitted he was disappointed by the cancellation, adding that he had given Schofield an opportunity only to feel disrespected by his last-minute withdrawal. Asterisk, it felt like he slapped me in the face by pulling out, asterisk, Stevenson said.
Since the fight started, I didn't really think it was going to be a possibility that they was going to accept the fight. So then when they accept the fight, they surprised me there. But then when they didn't show up to the press conference, I kind of had a
Asterisk, truthfully, I wanted to give him the opportunity to make some big money too. Asterisk, tensions between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis have escalated to the point where Crawford even entertained the idea of an unlikely fight between them. During a recent appearance on Asterisk, The Breakfast Club Asterisk, a popular morning radio show on New York's Power 105.1 FM, Crawford addressed the possibility of facing Davis. Despite Crawford never having been beaten, let alone stopped, Tank remained confident in his abilities. If they were ever to meet in the ring, Davis boldly predicted that he would defeat the 3-weight world champion inside the distance.
A question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look? 147? 147.
Asterisk, I tapped the chin, and you know he's going to sleep. He's got no chance. Round 6. Asterisk. That was Gervonta Tank Davis' bold prediction when discussing a hypothetical fight with Terence Crawford. However, in an interview with Asterisk Fight Hype Asterisk, Crawford laughed off the comments, pointing out that Davis remains in the lightweight division for a reason. Asterisk, when you look at all the great fighters, they get called out by everybody from different weight classes, so it's nothing that surprises me. Everybody talks about what they're going to do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason. I don't see him moving up to 147 to fight me anytime soon. He's just talking, asterisk, Crawford told asterisk, The Breakfast Club asterisk co-hosts Charlemagne the God and DJ.
I already know he is. Got no chance. I already know he is.
He said no chance.
I got round.
Crawford acknowledged Davis' confidence, understanding that it comes from his track record of knocking out opponents. Asterisk, he believes he can do that because he's been stopping the fighters he's faced. No knock to Tank, but there are definitely levels to this. If he moves up to 147 thinking he's just going to knock me out, he's got another thing coming. Asterisk, Davis showcased his power in his April 22nd showdown against Ryan Garcia, dropping him twice, once in the 2nd round and again in the 7th, to secure victory in their Showtime pay-per-view main event at T-Mobile Arena. Meanwhile, Crawford, 35, has been dominant at welterweight, stopping all 8 of his opponents since moving up from 140 pounds. After vacating his IBF, WBA, WBC, and WBO junior welterweight titles 5 years ago to compete at 147, he has continued to prove himself as one of the most dangerous finishers in the sport.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to
Crawford sent Spence to the canvas for the first time in his 10-year pro career during the 2nd round, then scored 2 more knockdowns in the 7th before securing a 9th-round technical knockout victory. Standing nearly 3 inches taller than Davis, Omaha's Crawford has a clear size advantage over the knockout artist, who has stopped 93% of his opponents. However, Crawford argued that a fight between them wouldn't earn him much credit, as it would require Davis to move up 2 weight classes. Still, he admitted that if the purse was big enough, he'd be willing to take the fight.